Concert Viz 34. Today we're going to be talking a little Dead and Company. I need to change the title in a second. I don't know if I think it may say Grateful Dead. Just excuse me, it's been a long morning. Shout out to Rush. I am representing them because they got me through my half marathon this morning. Jacob's Ladder came in the clutch. So did Time by Pink Floyd and Eminem, Lose Yourself. But Rush is amazing, and every now and then I get back into listening to some of their stuff, like 2112 and Moving Pictures and Permanent Waves, which Jacob's Ladder comes off of, and I'm just amazed every time at how great it sounds, even though I've heard the songs hundreds and hundreds of times in my short life, let alone those fans who had been around since Rush's inception and have listened to it thousands of times. But anyway, today we want to talk about some show cancellation and postponement. And I want to talk about a bigger issue after that, which is my issue of concerts starting on Black folk time. And being someone who is African American, it seems like the concert world is following our cookout policy with how late some of these shows are starting. Now, the big story is Dead and Company, Camden, night 2 here. They pull up to the Philadelphia area right across the river, and they play for a Saturday night show. And the show is cut short. First set was fire. That John Mayer, It Hurts Me Too cover, I mean, bruh, I just heard it as far as on YouTube, and that's John Mayer doing the blues, folks. That's what he does best. You may hate his pop stuff, you may think he's a tool, but boy can play the blues for someone who's, well, now he's 40-something, but there's not many people playing it in the mainstream anymore, but John Mayer is one of those people carrying it along. And we got some other cats like Taz, Nito, I don't want to mess up the rest of his name, who also is passing the legacy along. Quinn Sullivan, what up, you as well, passing the greatness of the blues to young folks here. But show was cut short due to lightning. And to me, I'm someone who, I'm just going to be honest, I do not like lightning. I will be outside in the rain, the cold rain and snow, to use a Grateful Dead reference there. But when lightning comes, it's real. Especially with cell phones now, especially with electronic equipment. I'm not trying to get struck by lightning, and you'd be surprised how common it can be to be struck by lightning, especially when there's, tons and tons of electrical equipment on stage. Everyone has a cell phone. And lightning last night in the Philadelphia, greater Philadelphia area was so strong, it was literally splitting. So when it hits the ground, that bolt was going 2 different ways or 3 different ways, which is crazy for us folks up here in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. That does not happen very often, but it was very humid here. Being in Connecticut, about 4 hours away, we didn't get the lightning as much, except on the border of the New York Connecticut border, but it was humid, and that humidity gives it that southern lightning experience. And to me, I think that, when lightning comes like this, you gotta cut the set short. I know people spend hundreds of dollars on these shows. I know the band took a longer than normal set break, which probably could be a solution, but you gotta just get everyone home safe. You gotta get people safe, because these venues like the one in Camden and the one out here by me in Hartford, there's one in Mansfield, these amphitheaters, there's no really indoor areas except the concourses where everyone can't fit, especially when the lawn's packed, the seats are packed to see Dead and Co. So I think they made the right move by just canning the event. I actually, across the river, and this, honestly, I should have been in Philly this weekend, because not only do I like the Flyers and Sixers, but there was 2 of what would be it'd be a dream weekend to see the Roots play and have a jam session with Dave Chappelle, and then go see Dead and Company one of those other days. But across the river, literally across the river, you can take a ferry from Philadelphia to the Camden venue, which is right on the waterfront. I've seen it on a boat tour visiting family in South Jersey. So they're literally two pretty close concerts in an area there on the river. and they canned the set in Philadelphia for the Roots picnic, the headlining set, which was kind of Dave Chappelle moderating a jam session with the Roots, having different artists come in. And what the Roots are doing, just a quick side note, it would be great, and this would get me to go to more hip-hop concerts if you had Roots jam sessions with some of these great artists, going back to the old school days of DJs and B-boys and MCs, just kind of having these sessions. That would improve, to me, the experience of rap. But anyway, we're not going to talk about rap. We're going to talk about Dead and Company in this show. And one of the things that I think could help a situation like this is these shows, this is the bigger issue to me, these shows start too late. And I'm 27. I'll be 28 in a couple months. I'm young. I have a lot of life. I got no kids messing up my sleep. I don't have a wife. I live here by myself in this crib. But even to me at 27, I go to some of these shows now and I'm like, just get on the stage. Now I know you got to make the money with the liquor. You got to get everyone's tailgating and drunk. But you know what? If you have a megaphone or you tell people, hey, the show's going to start at 8 o'clock, they will still tailgate all day and they'll get into the show for 8 o'clock. If you say the show, literally, they're going to be on stage, be ready by 7:30, they're actually coming on at 8 o'clock, you could get 2 sets in. Matter of fact, you could probably merge it into having like a long set with maybe a quick break. Have John Mayer, have a drums in space, and then Dead & Co. would be able to, with the older personnel, be able to survive. But to me, it's a huge frustration. Even though I'm African American, I go to black cookouts and them joints start late. The cookouts are during the day. At night, it's very frustrating when you go to shows, especially shows like this. There's no opener. I go to other bands that don't have openers, like Dave Matthews, and then even with Rush, this R40. I don't think there was an opener, but still, these shows start too late. They do. And I know these artists are playing day after day, but just move your schedule up an hour and get on stage when you say it at 8 o'clock. Or get on stage at 7:30. If you see some storms coming, look, these radars and the access to weather we have nowadays, my smartphone is almost better than my computer. It gets stuff up quicker through the apps than when I try to click my computer, which is an okay Toshiba. But the point being is, if there's rain if there's lightning, if there's damaging winds, if there's anything like that, that's going to be coming, start the show earlier. It helps everyone. You know a day out how these storms are going to be. Even 12 hours prior, just put a tweet. Okay, people missed the first couple songs. All right, well, artists like Dead & Company, if you hear them playing from the parking lot, by the time you get to the gate and get in, they're probably going to be on song 3. That's being generous. If you're right there, VIP parking, you'll be there by song 2. There's a little bit of a rush. People go in, and then you enjoy the show. You started early, but you still get, all right, you missed the first couple songs. Well, you know what? Set 2, you will actually be able to enjoy set 2 because you'll be already in the venue. And these set breaks, one thing they could do, I liked what Humphreys McGee did at the 420 Fest out there in the ATL. They just merged their set into one long set. And you know what? It was magical. I actually bought that show. Shout out to Humphreys McGee. But they're a great example. They adjusted. Now, this was a festival, so festivals have more say over what artists do and, the performances they do. And with festivals, it's actually more likely, because the festival's all day, that some sort of rain is going to touch a festival. You could pick every festival for the year, and every 3 festivals is going to have a rain problem at some point, whether it's beginning, middle, or end of the day. The thing with these standalone concerts like Dead & Company at Live Nation venues is it's only for a couple hours. It's not, 11 a.m. gates open all the way to 12:31 in the morning. But I really think that people should do what Humphreys McGee did at 420 Fest. They merged their set into one long set. They had Taz kill it on the Lenny cover. They had tons of great content, which is why I bought the set, even though it was kind of short and dish compared to the regular Humphreys shows, but I still paid for it. Shout out to Nugs supplying me with the greatness of that. Shout out to all those people at Humphreys that put it up there mad quick. But there really needs to be a change in the concert industry. These shows, even if there's not bad weather, these shows got to start earlier. when you say 8 o'clock, you know, please get on stage at 8:10, 8:15. I know people are late, but you know what? Those fans who are drinking all that stuff, they're either diehards that have been to a ton of these shows, or they're fair weather fans trying to chase some females or males or whatever. That's all it is. If you're a true fan and you really want to see the full show, you're in there earlier. Now, you can be a true fan and still get there a little later, but you know, you've been to 100 shows, some of these people for Deadheads, other jam bands, you've been to 50, 60 shows in your life. You missed the first 2 songs. They don't whip out a magical, like, opening song every now and, you know, that often for many bands. Some do, but most of the stuff, set 2 is really your cream and apple pie and yogurt, and I don't know what I'm saying, but I really hope that shows can really get to a habit of starting earlier, especially when there's no opener. A lot of these bands aren't having openers. You know, like I said, Rush, Dave Matthews Band, Dead and Company is not having openers, and there's many other bands like that they just don't have an opener. Billy Joel, I mean, Elton John, these guys are pulling up just with them. And I know there's alcohol sales involved and all that, but look, people are gonna buy alcohol no matter what. And once they start drinking, they want to keep that buzz. And please be safe. And I get concerned too with the drinking and driving, but just be careful. Have someone, you know, step aside or be that designated driver. I'm not promoting, you know, drinking and driving on my page, but you know, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to start these shows earlier. There's got to be a better way when you see storms coming. You don't know how long they'll stick around sometimes. In the sense of Philly, they've been having these for the last couple of days, and they didn't know how long it was going to stick around, how severe it would kind of be until the end. But when you see storms, push the show up. Start at 7:30. Start at 7 o'clock. Come on. I mean, by all means. And then for the fans, I know that these guys are older. Have John and someone else come out. You know, have John and, you know, one of the drummers come out. If, you know, whoever feels healthy. Have the organist and John just do a cover, a blues cover, like John Kilt here last night for "It Hurts Me Too," and then get the show done. Get in, get out. Give them 90% of what you're gonna do, even 85% of what you're gonna do song wise. And then let everyone get home safely. Let people stay in the concourse if they don't feel safe like me. Fam, I'm staying in the concourse until this lightning subsides. That's just me, though. So that's how I feel. Let me know what you guys think. If you were there, give us a more detailed description, because I was not in Camden, full disclosure. I should have been in Philly this weekend with the Dead & Co. and with all the greatness of the Roots and their picnic and their jam session. That was cut short, but next time I'm gonna have to check out. I've been meaning to go to one of these Roots picnics. But it's your boy ConcertViz34, and I'm out.